With WWE employees concerned about losing their jobs and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Speaking about his experience trying out for WWE at the Performance Center, ring announcer Mike Rome told Chris Van Vliet, "I remember it like it was yesterday." So when I finally got the call from a guy named Johnny Greco, he wears a lot of hats. He's been everywhere. He's in there and we're doing this process and Greg is there and they had me ringing out something. They gave me the stats ahead of time. You memorize them and you turn around. They give you a couple of seconds. We did a whole thing where I was acting like I was backstage because at the time in the PC, they're doing classes in there. So you're doing your auditions when classes are in there and Triple H is working out in the room next door. And he walks out and it's like, don't mess up. It's a crazy. During that time, it was kind of crazy because the PC was so small and it was whatever. So they grabbed, it was Bull Dempsey at the time and he came over and we did a backstage thing and I was supposed to talk to him about his thing with Tyler Breeze. And they're like, hey, you need to stall. So I'm like stalling, trying to ask him questions and then I go, thank you for your time. Back to you guys. It was that kind of stuff. We did an arena thing where I walked out and went, "What's up, WWE Universe? Tonight you're gonna see this Intercontinental Championship on the line. WWE Championship is on the line," and then kind of putting over the audience before throwing to a video package. It's stuff like that. I don't know what the process is now, but that's what it was when I did it. Talking to Wrestle Rant, Stone Cold Steve Austin said this about the potential of LA Knight in WWE. I said, hey man, make sure your cardio is supreme. And I said, just go do you. So that guy can talk a blue streak. He's a great worker. He's got a good look, good energy. So I think he's doing great. I think he can ascend to a higher level, and I think he will. So I think the guy's doing awesome. After suffering a knee injury during a short return match at WrestleMania this year, Shane McMahon could be seen working out in a video on Instagram. With Chavo Guerrero previously calling out Rey Mysterio and WWE for continuing to use Eddie Guerrero's name, a fan would ask, so Chavo, real talk, is your family getting paid for how much now WWE is using Eddie and now the LWO? Just saying because the man is in heaven, yet his name and ideas are all being used heavy now. Chavo simply replied, nope. Recalling his feud with Brock Lesnar and, more specifically, being thrown downstairs by the Beast, Zach Gowen told Wrestling News, I didn't take it. They brought in a stunt double to take that fall for me. They brought in a stunt double to take that particular fall down the stairs tied to a wheelchair. This guy looked just like me, except he had 2 feet, which is pretty cool to see. Right before we cut, Vince asked me if I wanted to take the bump. I looked at him and said, are you crazy? I know how to get power bombed. I know how to jump off the top rope, but I don't know how to fall off a flight of stairs with a wheelchair bouncing right behind my head, so I politely declined. Vince would have let me take that bump if I obliged, and thankfully, I didn't. Giving details on the upcoming draft in WWE, Ringside News noted, WWE is going for a hard brand split this time around for the 2023 draft. We asked why the company is going this direction, and were told that the networks are a major factor in this decision. It would be added that rumors are out there that WWE is going back to split brand pay-per-views because the next draft will push for a hard brand split. We are told that while split brand pay-per-views have been discussed, they are nowhere close to locking down any idea to go that direction. Speaking of the draft, this was said about Roman Reigns being exclusive to one brand. As Steve Carrier wrote, the WWE draft is coming up, and that will bring big changes. We're told that USA Network wants Roman Reigns over anything else. Having a title belt exclusive to Raw is second choice for USA Network. The Bloodline remains first choice for them. When it comes to a health update on the Monster Among Men, PW Insider noted that former WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman is currently out of action after suffering a concussion, multiple WWE sources have confirmed. Strowman was scheduled for this past weekend's live events, teaming with Ricochet against the Viking Raiders, but was pulled from the road in order to heal. He wrestled the Raiders with Ricochet on the April 21st edition of SmackDown, so the injury must have occurred there. There is no word yet how long he is expected out of action. On Keeping It 100, Conan said this about Bray Wyatt being out of action as he was asked, "Have you heard a lot of good things about Bray Wyatt?" He responded, "No, but I do. Somebody told me this in WWE, one of the wrestlers, that there's something wrong with him physically. So I don't know if he's injured or what, but yeah." Touching on CM Punk's recent appearance backstage at Raw, Lance Storm said this for the Wrestling Observer's Figure 4 Daily. "If Tony Khan didn't okay it, then I think, in my opinion at least, the message being sent is a warning to Tony that people don't think I'll ever go back to WWE. Watch me. So you better be careful." And it's a power play to let Tony know he's going to have to get Punk back to show. He's going to have to accommodate CM Punk, because if he fires CM Punk, I think the message is clear now that he is very willing now to walk in WWE and talk to Hunter. If he didn't get it cleared with Tony, I think it's that ballsy move. But Punk has never been lacking in those. But I think it's a very dirty play when you know seems to be trying to get the image and the rep of unity in the AEW locker room. We were going to bring this guy back. We were going to bury the hatchet, make amends, get him back on the show. And then he does this. I would not be surprised if I was Tony unless it was cleared. If it's cleared, then that's a decision Tony and Punk can make. But if it's not, then it's a dirty pull and power play. Staying on the topic of CM Punk's WWE visit, this was said about his talk with Triple H, with PW Insider noting that we are told by someone who saw the interaction that the two shook hands, and Punk asked if it was okay that he visit and if Levesque had time. Could they speak for 2 minutes? Levesque allegedly said he had to make sure with the big guy it was okay, obviously a reference to Vince McMahon. It was perhaps a 1 to 2 minute interaction, if even that. Speaking to DAZN, Will Ospreay would confirm when his deal with NJPW is expiring, as he said, "My contract with New Japan is up next February, so from that point, who's not going to want this kid who's dedicated to being a hard worker and wanting to put on the best quality of matches?" The reason why I say no is because they don't impact my paycheck. I still get paid the same regardless. In my humble opinion, star ratings don't matter in terms of financial gain, but in terms of viewership, because I'm this British kid who has done it on indie shows, I know that when my NJPW contract comes up, there will be a fight for who wants the best 5-star wrestler right now. As Triple H unveiled a new World Heavyweight title on Raw this week, this was said by Give Me Sport about the likely winner of the belt. With the new title, I've heard Seth Rollins is a very strong candidate to be the first guy. No doubt about it, Seth is your leading candidate. Speaking of the new world title in WWE, Karrion Kross said this yesterday about it, writing on Twitter, "I see you all tagging me in the new World Heavyweight Championship photos. Believe me, that will inevitably be mine in due time. Keep in mind though, the very first person to end Roman's championship run is going to make history in such a way that will be never forgotten." According to PW Insider, WWE employees received an email from WWE CEO Nick Khan which reads, "We were all fortunate to be 3 years, 1 month, and 14 days removed from the moment where stay-at-home orders were put in place. Business shuttered, some permanently, and sports seasons canceled. Of course at WWE, and thanks to all of you, we continue to move forward, never missing a week of production in the safest way possible. As I have had the good fortune of meeting with so many of you over the last few months, it has become apparent apparent to me that our business thrives on creativity and an unparalleled work ethic. All of us physically together is a part of that. As such, we will be going back to what has always been the case prior to COVID, which is a return to 5 days a week in office. Nothing replaces our ability to interact with one another as we collectively continue to build and represent our company. We will all connect better and be better. Monday, May 1st, 2023 will be the start of our full-time return to office. For those based in Stamford, our first group has moved to our new headquarters and the rest of us will be there shortly. We thank you for your patience with this process. If you have not yet seen it, it is a spectacular workspace that we believe you will all be quite proud of. Thank you for all, Nick. Apparently, this has employees worried for their jobs, as PW Insider added. For some employees, there's also the fear that post-merger, they may be out of a job, and as if that wasn't stressful enough, now they will be back in the office full-time, compounding that stress. There weren't a lot of happy employees opening their emails. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.